Hey Internet, Eric here. Well, I am back once again to discuss the Underworld franchise, and today I am discussing the third film, which is actually a prequel, Underworld: Rise of the Lycans. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. This came out in 2009. Basic plot of this is it is the prequel to the Underworld franchise, and this is focusing on the relationship between it's Sonja and Lucian, and we know a little bit of the backstory between them. They were, I guess you would say, star-crossed lovers, and Sonja was Victor's daughter. Found out about it, killed her. No spoilers, killed her, and that was what helped Lucian so much start this revolution, this war against the vampires. Um, because he was the first, I guess you would say, official Lycan, because he was the first one who was able to turn back into human form, go back and forth between werewolf and human. So that's basically it. It's basically that story and how the Lycan army grew and came into power to take on the vampire army. Um, the actor who plays let's get to the actor. The actor who plays Lucian is back from the first film. Really good. He has a lot more to do in this film, obviously, because he is the main character other than Sonia and Victor, and he's really charismatic in this movie. I like him a lot. He's got great chemistry with this new actress who plays Sonia, and he's good at being this type of, I guess you'd say, general when he has to get this army pumped up. And I love the scene where they're all in prison because a lot of humans are slaves. A lot of humans that are being turned into Lycans are slaves because the whole Lycan army are slaves. They're to be basically guard dogs during the day while the vampires sleep. I love that little speech he gives to pump people up, to get, it's like, are you with me type of speech to pump them up, to get them ready to join together to take on the vampires. And this actor is really good. Um, Actress who plays Sonia, I like her a lot. I only knew her as, I hate to say, she's the rape victim in Hollow Man. But she's really good in this. She has a lot to do. Great chemistry with the actor who plays Lucian. You buy that they love each other. You know what I mean? They start off, in each other's faces. He always cared for her, type of thing. But you buy their relationship, you buy their love, and then when her life comes to an end, you buy his pain. So you're really interested and into this relationship with him. And I like her relationship with Victor, and how she defied, she's a daughter defying her father. Bill Nighy as Victor is great. He, again, more to do because he is in this movie more. He was barely, well, I don't want to say barely in the first one, but he was a bit part in the first one. He's dead in the second one, other than the opening scene. Here he has a lot to do, and he is just frightening. You know what I mean? He's got a presence about him. He's very stoic. The way he looks is terrifying. You know you don't want to cross this man. And figuring when you realize that Sonia, his daughter, and you now know she's being put to death because she's pregnant, and she's pregnant with an abomination, this and that. He is a wicked man. But what I really like is, he really cares for Sonia, because after the scene of where she is killed, she's put to death. When, kind of like I would say Interview with the Vampire, when Kirsten Dunst put in a room, light, sunlight comes through an opening in the ceiling. There's a very brief scene where he's in his chambers, and you can see he's full of regret, and I really like that. But Bill Nighy is really good at being forceful, scary. You know he will kill you in a minute's notice if you cross him, but he also is very respectful to those who follow him. So I like that. Other characters are just there. I mean, I think we do get to see the actor. I think his name is Rise or Rays, a very big black dude with a deep voice. The guy who is not Michael Clark Duncan, who was in the first movie. We get to see his first meeting with Lucian here, how he joins the army. So that's cool. The action is really good. I love it. And well, let's talk about the action and the gore because it fits perfectly. We're in the medieval times, however you want to say it. With the horses and the swords and shit like that. So good. The opening sequence when Sonja is running from this Lycan army, this feral group from the forest. And it's very like Lord of the Rings stuff, people running to castles. The castles got those giant fucking huge ass crossbows with shooting harpoons and stuff, taking out the Lycans. Really, really cool. I like that scene. And then when they're just fighting, with the swords and stuff, we get the gore is great. We get Lycans getting arms chopped off. We get Lycans getting decapitated. Lycans getting their heads cut off through the mouth. But we also get vampires with throats being slit, chowed down on by the Lycans and stuff like that. The scene where Sonja is burnt, it's pretty CGI filled, but it's quick. It's like a flash, so it doesn't take it away. But I think the action and the gore is really, really good. Um, Not as much action in this one as the second film. Like the second film is a flat out action movie. This has a lot of drama in it, a lot of character building, and I like that. I like that a lot because we need to know why this is going on, why this war has started. And it's just really, really good. I love the scenery, the forestry, all that stuff. The special effects, I think, keep improving when it comes to them changing back and forth from human to Lycan form. Looks really good. I love the look of these monsters, these werewolves. Um, One of my favorite shots is when Lucian is telling, basically in his werewolf form, I guess you would say, telling the Lycans in the forest to back away, to calm down, stop. So it's one of those, this is our master type of scenes, full of respect, and it's really, really cool. Um, Not too much, I would say, to look down on this movie. I mean, the sex scene between Sonya and Lucian is pretty lame. They're trying, like, he's having sex with her, she's on top of him, and he's like leaning off of a fucking cliff and stuff like that. I mean, they're trying to be creative. It is what it is. That's kind of lame and eye rolling. Um, yeah, like I said, the CGI where she just goes poof is okay. Nothing to like shit on this movie about, but it could have been better. But this is a really good follow up to the second film. It's a really good prequel setting up the story. Like I said, I really like this one. Do I like it more than the second one? That's tough. Probably not, because I liked how the second one was just full of action. I really, really enjoyed it. But this one is a great one to either start the series with, like if you're one of those people that like to watch prequels, like Star Wars, you're gonna watch episode one all the way through. This works perfectly that way, or it works great as a follow up to part two, because great characters, great action, great chemistry. Bill Nighy is great. When you think, well, here's a downside. You know that since it's a prequel, and Sony's gonna die, so you're not too upset, you're not too shocked. And then Victor's not going to die because he is killed in part one. So when Lucian defeats him, you know for a fact he is still alive. You don't. I mean, they throw in that scene where Victor is still seen alive and he's on a ship going somewhere. Lucian's not going to die, so you're not afraid of that. That's kind of a downside, but overall, I highly recommend this prequel, Underworld. There it is, Rise of the Lycans. Highly recommend it. Definitely the second best in the franchise so far. Coming up next is Underworld Awakening. I'm very interested in that one because Kate Beckinsale is back. She's briefly at the very end of this one. I think it's just actual footage that they view that's in the first one that they put in here at the end. But anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me what you think of this one. Where is it? At least in the first three of these films, where would you rank that? What do you think of the story? Do you agree with me on the fact that it's kind of a letdown when you know what characters are already going to die and which characters are already going to live? But that's what the chance you take with a prequel. That's it. More Underworld stuff coming soon. I'm going to be watching a lot of trash cinema soon. Like 2 Sleepaway Camp sequels after part 3. I have a request to do Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. And then me and Rachel, we still got some Please Don't Make Me watches, along with more Underworld, and I think I'm going to do the Rocky series as my next franchise. But until then, cheers. All right, I'm back. Just like the last video for Underworld Evolution, I forgot to say something, and I wanted to make sure I added this into, I guess you would say, my movie review. I was thinking to myself, with what I said earlier, I was kind of downplaying the action a little bit because I said there isn't as much in this one as there is in Evolution. But, like I said, the fights, the battles are really, really good. But one scene that I think is fantastic is the breakout scene. When Lucian gets, I think, like I said, I think his name is Rise or Rays. You know, like I said, not Michael Clark Duncan from the first movie. He gets him and the army of Lycans, and they bust out of the prison that the vampires have them in. It is so good. They're running through tunnels and this and that, freeing the other prisoners as the vampires are getting, prepared to fight them. They're being taken down, this and that. And I also love, as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like Lord of the Rings, or it makes you feel like it's Lord of the Rings, like because they have these huge giant crossbows, and they're firing bolts through the walls of the prison, and a lot of these prisoners don't make it out. They're getting impaled in the shoulder, in the gut, in the face, and it's very brutal. And it's a great scene because it's not just tension, action. Not everyone makes it out. And what I like is there's a scene where they're blocked off. And these bolts are fucking huge. Lucian and Rise and a couple others are separated from the mass majority that are still alive because these huge bolts are kind of making like a barricade. And it's a great scene, like the whole I'll come back for you type of thing. Don't leave us. And it's not over the top. It's not goofy. And because the actor who plays Lucian is so good, I mean, it's so believable. So I wanted to throw that in there and not downplay the action as I felt it seemed like I was doing. So I still really, really recommend Rise of the Lycans. I still think I'm going to enjoy or promote or however you want to say it. I think Evolution is more fun, but Rise of the Lycans is still really, really good. So had to throw this in there. I totally forgot about that. I've been fighting a head cold for like the last 2 or 3 days. I'm full of medicine. I'm full of snot. I'm full of like fucking bullshit in my head. But I just realized that I had to say that. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this doesn't happen again. Probably will. Cheers.